Basically, if you can't find it, you don't have it. That's the absolute rule. You can have all kinds of the world's best shots, but if you can't find them when you need them, it's as though you don't have them at all. And that is the core task of any media asset management system. It must make it fast and easy for you to find exactly the media you need for your project, then move that media into your NLE. Now, there's a lot of bells and whistles that can be added to that, but finding what you need when you need it and moving it where you need it is the absolute core function that any MAM, media asset management, must provide. More specifically, it must import media without changing its location, tag, label, or categorize all the media that it's tracking, find media using a variety of search criteria with an interface that doesn't get in the way, connect the selected media with your NLE, and optionally support both single users and work groups. Obviously, if you're a single user, you don't need all the power a multi-user media asset manager provides, but as soon as you have an assistant, having a multi-user MAM makes a big difference in organizing and finding your media. If we take a look at how NLEs manage media, we'll start with Final Cut. Final Cut imports all native metadata associated with the clip and the folder that contains the clip. It groups media into events. It groups media by date shot and other user-entered criteria. It adds custom metadata into existing fields in all selected clips. This is a really cool function. If I select, say, 50 clips, and I enter that they're all for scene 23, as long as the clips are selected, anything I enter in a metadata field is automatically entered into all 50 of those clips. This makes it a lot easier to be able to group clips and enter the same metadata in all clips at the same time. We see this inside Final Cut and Premiere and Resolve. We can assign keywords or favorites by clip or arrange within a clip. And we can search on keywords, favorites, and all metadata. The limitations to Final Cut, though, are that it is not multi-user. You can't have an editor and an assistant editor working in the same project or library at the same time. It only searches media in open libraries. It can't search media stored inside other libraries. It can't search media not imported into a Final Cut library. It can't nest events, metadata fields cannot be customized, and it has very limited remote access. Turning now to Premiere Pro, we can import all native metadata associated with a clip in the folder. We can group media into bins and nest bins inside bins. We can group clips by custom color or name. We can add custom metadata into existing fields in all selected clips. This is exactly the same thing as Final Cut. Select multiple clips, and when you change the metadata in one of the selected clips, it's updated in all the clips. And we can search on the file name, metadata, and custom color. But it's not multi-user. We can't have the editor and assistant editor in the same project at the same time. It only searches on media in the active project. It can't search media in other projects, even if the project is open. It can't search media not imported into an active project, and metadata fields cannot be customized or added. And like Final Cut, it has very limited remote access. Turning our attention to Resolve, we can import all native metadata associated with the clip in the folder. We can group media into bins and nest bins inside bins. We can apply custom colors and flags. We can group media by name, colors, flags, and metadata. And potentially it provides multi-user access. But it only searches media in open projects, can't search media stored in other projects, can't search media not imported into a project, metadata fields cannot be customized or added, and it has very limited remote access. None of these are bad. It's just the way the software is designed. They're designed to be video and audio editors. They're not designed to be libraries. Because of that, we often need to extend the features that are inside the NLE using a media asset manager. The big problem with most media management software is that in order to find stuff, we first need to label it. And this manual process of entering metadata can be extremely time-consuming. but necessary if you need to find the shot you want. So why use a media asset manager? Well, when there is more than one person who needs to find stuff, when you need to find media that isn't stored in your current project like historical footage, when you need to find something specific in the media, when you need to access media storage remotely, when media spans multiple storage volumes, or when you don't have time to precisely label everything. This was an excerpt of a recent Power Up webinar taking a look at media asset management and Axle.AI. For the complete version of this online training, please visit our store at larryjordan.com/store and look for Webinar 379. By the way, when you need to stretch your training dollars, membership in our video training library saves you money and time. You can access all our videos for a low monthly price of only $19.99. That's almost 2,000 movies, hundreds of hours on a wide variety of subjects. Plus, premium members can download practice media and projects. Our training covers a variety of software, and we update it multiple times each month. For more information, visit larryjordan.com/membership. And thanks